Hello and welcome to my channel PawfectPastimes. My name's Amanda, my friends call me Amo. I live in Dorset on the south coast of England with my husband and my 3 dogs, and I have Willow with me over here who may groan now and then as she sighs meaningfully, and Remy's wandering in and out and I have no idea where Gwynnie Pup is. I think she's up the garden with her dad. It is about 8:30 in the morning on Wednesday the 21st of August 2024. I hope you're all good and enjoying the sunshine. It's been a beautiful few days. August is it's our month. We start the month with my birthday and my grandson's birthday at the beginning, and he was my 50th birthday present, so my grandson and I share our birthday, which is absolutely lovely. And it's then our wedding anniversary. Then it's my daughter's partner's birthday, and we've just had John's birthday as well. So it's been a bit busy, so I haven't been too nitty, but I've done a few things. Thank you for coming back. If you've been here before, if you've subscribed and hit the bell, you'll know that I'm putting another one out. If you're new here, you're very welcome. And I hope you like what you see, that you also click like and hopefully subscribe too. Right, I've done that bit and we will start with my finish. And I'm wearing my Crochet. It was really quite a quick knit when I got into it, but it was on 5.5 needles. It's by Joanna Ang. There's the sleeve, and the cuffs are also in a pretty cable, and this carries on down the side and into the cable on the hem too. I love the fit, I love the size. I like my jumpers to finish about where my jean zip finishes. So yeah, I could do that. It doesn't hang off my boobs, it fits my body. Yep, I'm not a little girl, but I don't like baggy sweaters. So I made it to fit me. The sleeves are interesting because they're just no decreases at all until the very last round, and you do a little bit of decreasing. And it's in Eco Soft E2S colour. It is an alpaca. Get my little Bible out, sorry, hang on. It's an alpaca cotton. It's a cotton tube that the alpaca's blown into, which quite a few yarns are doing now. 56% alpaca, 44% cotton, 50 gram balls, 125 meters per ball. I bought 10 balls because I didn't know quite how it was going to go. This isn't the yarn that the pattern was made for, so I was working off meters. I used 7 balls, and then for the last 3 rounds in the bind off I broke into the 8th ball. I could have done a shorter hem, but it would have been just a tad too short. Excuse me. So I used about 900 meters. Like I said, it was 5.5 millimeters, but I used a 5 millimeter needle on the cast off side, and I do the one where you twist it around. There's no it's not a clingy rib or stretch, so it didn't have to. It does stretch, but it doesn't have to be tight or anything. Oh, it's so soft, it's lovely. Like I said, it's Joanna Ang. She's got the pattern on Ravelry. It's taken me not long to knit at all. I did the yoke some time ago, got on with other things, picked it up again, and I finished the sleeves and then just did the body. It was really quick. I bought the yarn at Farnham Unravel show from Emily Folds. Yeah, there's not a lot more I can say about it, apart from the fact that I am now getting quite warm. So I think I will take it off in a minute. I'm not itchy in it. I've only got the bra on underneath, so I'm pleased with that. It's going to be a bit transitional, and then I can wear something underneath for the cooler times. So that's my Koya May done, which I'm over the moon with. I haven't done any other knitting finishes, so I'll talk about sewy finishes at the end, so that I've got a sort of a bit of a floss tube towards the end. You don't have to stay if you don't want to then. Sorry, hang on. I've just started a test knit for Ellie at Craft House Magic. She asked for test knitters for a pattern that she's designed, and I'm doing this. And what I have decided to do, if you remember when I got my Wonderwalk ball from Ali of Little Drops of Wonderful, she went to Lay Family Yarns and dyed up some yarn. This is Wonderwalk, and I've bought two skeins. My other ones are back at the table, wound ready. And I said I'd like to make a hat, scarf, shawl, mitts combo. I thought it would be a nice way of using all the ball up. So when Ellie said she was doing some mittens, I said, oh yes please, can I be a test knitter? And then she put a call out and I was included. I've done the cuff so far, and look how that is knitting up. That's so pretty. I'm really pleased with it. I've got just starting the body of the mitten. They're not on Ravelry yet. Obviously, we're still in the test knit of the pattern stage. They were called the Alterna Thumb mittens, and I believe I'm allowed to show you. I've got some cabling at the back, and they got a put-on thumb. So she did say in the blurb we got to share it on Ravelry and Instagram and everything, so I assume that means YouTube as well. Done in 4-ply. The sizing is done by the sizes of your needles. 2.25, 2.5, 2.75 are the small, medium and larges. I started on 2.75, but I've gone back down to 2.5. I have big hands, and I'm just into the large size measurements that she gives, which are obviously usually men's sizes, but like with my socks, I prefer them a little bit snug, especially when I'm dealing with dogs and everything as well. So I've gone down to the 2.5 again, and we'll see how we go. So that's a nice test knit. It's part of the thing I want to get done this month. There's not much left of August now, is there really? In this next period of time. Yes, so I want to finish the test knit because we have got a deadline on that. I've wanted to do a test knit, but I didn't fancy doing a big thing like a sweater for a while, and let's see how it goes. The other thing I want to finish in this period of time is my Roots Run Deep by Kay Litton Socks. There's the title. They've got a nice little panel down the front. I haven't picked these up for a little while, so I want to get them finished. and I have got the Coop Knit Socks Yeah. Colour 109 Lilite. It is superfine merino, 25 nylon. Yeah, the usual. The usual. Is that? Oh, I hope that's in focus anyway. Right, in it is a beautiful speckly blue. There's little bits of, you can just see like there's a purpley fleck in it. I have, not sure where I'm up to with this one. I'm quite a way along the foot actually. I've done that much of one. And we know I'm very good at taking the wrong needle out. It's like playing Kaplunk. Do you remember Kaplunk from the 70s? Yeah, so there we go. It's just a nice slip stitch cable. I've done your heel flap and gusset. And I'm on the way along the foot to the toe. I've got probably an hour's worth of work in that and I'll be finished on that one. I have already started the cuff of the other. It's an uneven rib because it goes down the panel, so some places you've got a two purl. It follows this part on the front and it's sort of repeated on the back, but obviously doesn't go into a panel of the pattern. So the second sock has been started, so I think I should actually spend a little time on that. I quite like having 2 or 3 things by my sofa, and I'll say, right, I'll do an hour on this, and then I'll go and do an hour on the Ellie's one, and I tend to get things done that way. I don't know how you work on your evening knits. Right, I'll pop all that away. So that'll be nice to have a new pair of socks for the winter. I had a couple of podcasts ago showed you the Chappie's bullfinch blanket that came in a lovely box and this bag. It was a kit. It's part of their nature series they've done this year, and we started that a few weeks ago. And I haven't got a picture. No, I don't have the picture. I'll insert the picture here. You'll be able to see the bullfinch blanket. What it is a knit or a crochet, little diamonds. It's what you'd call a domino blanket. If you look up domino blanket, you'll see exactly what I mean. And Esther, in a nutshell, designed it, and she's done it in a strange way, in the fact that you make each triangle and then you cut the yarn and then you start again. And I'm doing a domino blanket that is literally, you pick up the next triangle and you carry on, and then you pick up the next bit on the next square, not triangle, sorry. And there's no ends to sewing, and it's very, very easy, and it's just boom, 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 and then you come back or start again at the bottom. So you do a row at a time, but there's no finishing. She's finishing every single square. So that was one I didn't like the thought of. The other thing is I wanted to do the crochet version, and it was lovely the way it made the V shape pattern, I don't think I've got my... No, I haven't. I'm totally unprepared, sorry. But all the crochet was done back loop only. I don't like back loop only. I think it feels fragile. Now this is the Mega Whirl. It's nearly 3 kilometres. It's literally 1 metre short of 3 kilometres. They could have lied and just said 3 kilometres. But it is one of the cotton acrylics. As you, if you've used a whirl, you know it's a fine cotton acrylic mix. And doing back loop only in this is torturous. I was literally grinding my teeth. I just don't like back loop only. It's just too stringy. It looks lovely. You get like a rib effect. I don't mind it on the odd bit here and there, but to make a whole blanket, no thank you. It was doing me in. So then I tried the knit version, which is just garter stitch, which is okay. But I said, I'm already doing a domino blanket in a garter stitch, which is lovely, and that's fine. I must pick that up again soon too. So I thought, meh, no, not doing that at all. So I had a look on good old Ravelry, and I found a pattern called the Caramel Whirl blanket. They've used a whirl. I don't think there's any better picture of it, but you can look up Caramel Whirl blanket, and I started that. I'm just getting to a colour change now. It's just very easy, a bit of filet crochet really, and I'm enjoying that. But again, it's cotton in a blanket, and I've stalled a bit again. There's nothing cosy about cotton. I have a real hang up about using cotton. So do I carry on and make a lightweight cotton summer blanket? If I finish it, it's going to be nice and big anyway. I could always sell it on for the rescue. I suppose there are times in the summer where you want a nice light blanket, so maybe. But that's another thing I've been using for a pick-up, put down. So, sorry, Esther and Treppies, I don't like your bullfinch blanket. I like the whirl. The whirl is fabulous. And I thought I'd start in the middle for the blanket, because I thought if I stopped when I thought the blanket was big enough, I'm likely to stop here and leave this grey blue section, and that section I could actually use for a shawl, bearing in mind how huge this is. So I tried to think of all options for that one. So if you're doing the bullfinch blanket, let me know what you think. I know it's going quite slowly on the Facebook page. Seems to be going quite slowly on the page. I don't like their Facebook page. They're too restrictive, shall we say. The other thing I am doing, I don't know what I've done with it now. Is with our craft group. As I said, that's the poppies there from last year. Making poppies, dozens of poppies. There's a nice easy crochet pattern that's some my friends done for me with a centre. That one I've done in two, oh dear, that's double knit size. That's 2 strands of double knit held together. So that gives a different option. Some have got a crochet middle, as you see there. We leave the tails on because we're going to tie them to netting. And that one's got a button in the middle. And I've started some of the purple ones for the dogs. Well, for the animals actually. They used a lot of horses and mules, pigeons even. So we don't like to forget the animals. So that's an addition so far. I picked that up now, and it takes me about 6-7 minutes to make a poppy. Last night we were in the craft group at the pub. There's so much chatter goes on, it's amazing we get anything done at all actually. So they're coming along, and I'm quite conscious of the fact that time is ticking. But we've got, how many of us were making last night? Me, 1, 2, 3, 5 of us making last night. There's 3 other ladies in the village making some. So we should have a fair amount. I mean, there's about 200, 300 up on that one thing. So we'll make a display of what we get. And I want to, because I finished my koyame, I want to finally cast on my daughter's partner's waistcoat. You may remember I made him a waistcoat. Oh, must have been towards the beginning of the year anyway. I did put it in a blog, I think. I'll put a picture up. And it was just made out of Stylecraft acrylic yarn, because I just wanted to see how he fitted. And he's got a fairly long back, so I've got to put in a couple of extra rows at the back to make it come down to his waistline. He still loves blue. So I've bought homespun, King Cole homespun double knitting. Those lovely flecks in that. I do love a tweed or a fleck. Nep. And this colour is shade 5104 Midnight Sky. Never sure if they focus. I'll put it down below anyway. He'd like some cables this time. I've done me a nice pullover, slip over that he pinched. So I'll do the same one for him in that nice yarn. So I think that's going to be the next thing on my needles. I do have my other Christmas sock, Cornish Christmas sock to finish though. I'll make a little list, I think, and allocate time to each. It's the only way I get things done. I've redone my little listing on the wall up there. In fact, I can move the koyame off that now because I've finished it, which is brilliant. So that's about all my yarniness now. If you have no interest in my stitchiness, Flosstube, then I will say goodbye to you now. Don't forget to like, and see you next time. And I can now talk a little stitchiness. I have finished, you may have seen my little video I put up, it was yesterday, the day before, my Start of Wonder. Isn't she pretty? When I started it, we were on holiday and I took a couple of photographs as I was making it. Hello, Remy. Hello. Did you come out of my bed? You good boy. Good boy. And then I continued taking photographs. And I thought, well, it'd be nice to see it growing. So I put all the photographs together and made the little video to the very end. and I thought it was quite interesting from my point of view, hence I made it into a video for you to see as well. And then the other day I ironed some interfacing onto the back of it, and then I got some tracing paper, layout paper, and drew around the star. It's not an equal star when you look at where the stitching finishes and goes. So I made some curves. I think I've got the this is my pattern piece. As you can see, it's got top part's quite fat, and that's quite short compared to that length, and that's quite short compared to that length. But I drew it out a couple of times and rearranged, folded it in half, made sure it was equal, made sure I knew which one was the top, and made sure when I put it over my needlework that all the stitches were well within it. And then on the back, on the interfacing, I drew around this, and I then stitched the bobble trim facing inwards on the edge of the bobble trim, all the way round my drawn line on the interfacing. I then found some fabric for the back, which I made sure was about 1.5 inches longer than it needed to be. And then I cut it in half, and then I sewed them both together on the sewing machine to make a seam, but with a gap in the middle. I then put those faced together, and I then sewed around the inside of my previous stitch line, which was on the bobbles. It sounds more complicated than it actually was. There's a few videos out there that will show you how to do it. I'm making sure that the bobbles were on the inside, and then when I turned it out, the bobbles were on the outside, and it needed stuffing. And when I'd stuffed it, I just sewed up this little gap at the back, which you don't really notice. And because it's the gaps are there, there's no awkwardness with the bobbles, and it looks very neat and tidy. It looked a bit vacant in the middle, and it was a bit poofy. No matter how much I stuffed it, it didn't look right. So I got my button box down and had a nosy through the buttons. And if you're like me, a lot of your buttons are very sort of 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I'll put them all away now. But I found this one. I mean, I found quite a few, and I wanted something sparkly because there's quite a bit of gold thread in this. And I found this one that's got this cone. For some reason, the cone spoke to me. I think it was because it felt like it almost made the points three-dimensional. And it made the poofy middle bit sit so much better. So that was a Star of Wonder kit by Bossy Threads, and I'm really rather pleased with it. I'm glad to get it finished though. And that was part of my Christmas in July 2024. So now I've finished that, I really need to get on with my Owl and the Pussycat Goldwork piece. I've neglected it long enough, and I did put I did finish the netting around the edge. I'm just starting to put in the pearl around the edge of that again now, but it's been hanging around. I'd like to get it finished. I've got an owl to do, Parnham Owl. This is Jenny Aiden Christie kit. I've had it for a little while, and it's quite a fragile piece, and I just got it lying around in the studio, so I think it needs finishing soon. There are quite a few components I've already made, like the boat that can go on it. So that's my next Stitchy must do project. Get that finished. I will also be soon getting my autumn Halloween smalls out, so I'd like to see where I am with those, if I've got any patterns to pop a few more of those out. I think I've got a few anyway. I've only sort of over the past few years started to do smalls collections, and I've got a little cake stand and things that I pop them in. Nice to have a seasonal change, I think. So I think you're all caught up. There's been no groans and moans from Willie. He's breathing heavy, and Remy's gone to sleep on the rug. Still no sign of Gwynnie Pup. Mind you, she was at the pub with me last night, so she's probably having a bit of a lie down, I should think. Thank you again for joining me. It's lovely to read your comments, and I try to reply to all of you. I think if you spent the time listening to me, it's only polite of me to reply back to you. I'm humming a lot today, aren't I? It's early in the morning. Well, it's only just 9 o'clock now. Don't forget to like. That's the most important thing. If you want to know what happens else in my little world, subscribe too, and you can hit the notification bell, which will tell you when I vlog again. Still no idea. I am now going to go and pick up my husband's wheel. He had a bit of a nasty puncture yesterday. That's been fixed, and I think I'll be putting something a little more lighter than a alpaca very warm sweater, but it is so nice and soft. I absolutely love it. We've got 2 events coming up. Next month is Newbury Yarn Festival. It's got a name. I can't remember. We're going on the Sunday the 8th. I think it's the 8th. Oh dear. Southern Wool Show. I will be going with my friend Tracy and a lady from the Golf Club, Pat, on Sunday. So I'm trying to gather together thoughts on what I want to make and buy. I've got a few things upstairs. I'm not a huge purchaser. I don't go mad for having stash. I have some things that I need to make, but some things I think, oh, I'd like a nice pattern. I've got an idea what I want to make next, and I go and find the yarn. I need a few little bits of notions. I'd like a nice roll or something. I know I could make it, but I'd like a nice roll for my DPNs, because I've got them in a sectioned pouch at the moment, but they're such a mess, it's unbelievable. And I just like going and sniffing the wool. So if any of you are planning on going to the Southern Wool Show on the Sunday, comment below. Maybe we could have a wave. I don't do people very well in person, but you never know. Other than that, I will catch up with you soon. You have a lovely, lovely week, and keep crafting. Bye.